Recently, a Newsmax host who looks like Dr. Oz, to be quite honest with you, his name is Bob Sellers, walked off the set as the My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, continued repeating false claims about the Dominion voting machines, which, by the way, the manufacturers of those machines, the company behind that voting machine, is now suing any company, any individual who puts out these false claims about them. And so Newsmax doesn't want to, have to pay out a ton of money in a settlement as a result of this lawsuit. So as Lindell was lying about Dominion, he was trying to get him to stop. When he wouldn't stop, Bob Sellers walks off the set. We showed you that video earlier this week. Well, now the story gets even more pathetic because Newsmax relies on people like Mike Lindell. They rely on kooky people who say kooky things in order to garner an audience. So Sellers was forced to come back and apologize. Let's watch.
Folks, if you watch American Agenda yesterday, you may have seen something out of the ordinary happen during an interview with Mike Lindell, the CEO of My Pillow. Mike is a friend of this network, and we were supposed to discuss Twitter's decision to ban him and the impacts of cancel culture on his business. But there was some confusion, and Mike thought that we were to talk about vote fraud in the recent election. It's a topic we have covered extensively on Newsmax. I was frustrated that we couldn't focus on the current, very pressing issue of free speech and cancel culture, and in hindsight, there is no question that I could have handled the end of the interview differently. At Newsmax, we seek out all points of view. Mike was back on Newsmax last night with Rob Schmidt on his show to continue the conversation about cancel culture and the censorship by social media. Mike also made clear he thinks Newsmax is great, his words, and I can tell you he will continue to be an important guest on Newsmax.
So there's Bob Sellers, a Newsmax host who's selling his soul for Mike Lindell, who actually happens to be Newsmax's biggest sponsor. So I'm sure that there's that financial component to it. And also remember, Newsmax is competing with OAN for who or which company has the most lunatics. So that's an interesting wrinkle to the story as well, which we'll get to. But Cenk, jump in.
Yeah. Sellers like, last night if you turned into Newsmax, you would have seen something out of the ordinary, a doppelganger for Dr. Oz. That's me. All right, random Dr. Oz obsession. All right, no, this story's great because now let me tell you what's actually happening. Did he all of a sudden have a change of heart and realize, oh yeah, Lindell's lunatic conspiracy theories are a really great idea? No, of course not, right? Did he walk out because of a difference on topic matter? No, that's not why an anchor walks out of an interview. No, he did it because he was put between a rock and a hard place. Everybody's getting sued by these voting machine companies because they're lying. And the owners of these companies know that they're lying. And so they are worried about those lawsuits. That's why they all, including Newsmax, had to put out statements basically, I'm paraphrasing here as you'll see, saying we're goddamn liars and Dominion and Smartmatic is true, that what they're saying is true. Now we're gonna continue to lie to you guys and we'll have that My Pillow guy because he pays us tons and tons of money, okay? But remember, it's not actually true. We have no evidence at all. So they all read those statements. You can see them for yourself with the actual quotes. And so, but now, so they told the guys, they told all their anchors, don't directly say insane conspiracy theories because we'll get sued out of existence, right? So when Lindell starts doing this, the guy's like, oh, this is the time I panic. They told me to panic, and he just doesn't know what to do, and he doesn't want to get sued. So he walks off the set, right? And then management's like, hey, you knucklehead, what'd you do that for? He's like, I don't know, you told me to do it. They're like, no, not with Lindell. He pays us the most money. We can't stay in business without Lindell. And remember, OAN's kicking our ass over here saying they're willing to be crazier than us. And Sellers is like, what do you want me to do? They're like, shut up and go apologize for what we told you to do. And he's like,
it's so good.
And Sellers' answer to that is, yes, sir. I will further humiliate myself, sir. And that's what you said.
I love it so much. It's so good. It's a bunch of pigs rolling around in mud, and Sellers is like, am I dirty? What happened? Why am I dirty? Why am I dirty? But there's also the other wrinkle involving OAN, because Newsmax and OAN are trying to out crazy each other. And so OAN actually criticized Newsmax for the way they treated Mike Lindell, who of course is serving as a giant liability to the company. Let's take a quick look at what that looked like.
And from Twitter to television, cancel culture has gone viral, and Newsmax is the latest place where they have censored conservative voices. One America's White House correspondent, Jen Pellegrino, has more.
Inventor and entrepreneur Mike Lindell is one of the latest targets, having both his personal and his MyPillow business accounts banned from Twitter. In a segment to discuss social media censorship, watch as Newsmax censors Mike Lindell. Newsmax touts itself as real news for real people, but is this yet another case of a so-called fair and unbiased network being swept up by leftist censorship?
It's just no. Who would want to be part of that? Like, who would want to roll around in the mud with those pigs? Like, it's just disgusting. And you F around, you're gonna find out, right? Choose wisely, have principles, have morals, and do the right thing, or else you're gonna find yourself trying to out crazy other people for dollars.
So first of all, so he's now an inventor. So he's definitely an entrepreneur. I'll give him that. That's true, right? He's an inventor. What did you invent? A pillow. Come on, dude. Come on. Okay. Come on. I invented air. If you say so. Okay. Anyways, so look, Fox News is bleeding out. They've been #1 for like 12 years straight, every quarter, no question. And now they've fallen to 3rd place behind lowly MSNBC. And the reason for that is because they're not sufficiently crazy. We interview conservatives all the time. We bother to talk to conservatives all the time. And conservatives think that Fox News is now part of the mainstream media and are leftists. Can really Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Lauren? Yes, they really believe that. So now they went to Newsmax, and then Newsmax says, "Oh, we don't want to be sued by saying nonstop lies, so we're going to just lie only like 3/4 of the time." They're like, "Not good enough, not good enough. I'm going to OAN," and they're just going to keep going further and further and further down that rabbit hole. And there's no way to win an insane off. The winner is declared the most insane. Congratulations.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.